Good afternoon. I think most of the times people start with, I didn't hear you. So, good afternoon. I know that we have gone through several sessions, including two by Oracle, one by Gopala sir and one by Rajesh ji. Uh, were you able to attend those sessions and I hope you found something of interest, which you will invite Kunal. Where's Kunal in the room? Okay. Yeah, where's Krishna Kohli? Okay. Okay, that's okay. Where you will invite us to have a conversation, right? So let me start by introducing myself. My name is Jnanesh Nadkarni. I look after the East business and some part of the South business for Oracle SaaS Cloud, and which is basically our Fusion range of applications. And I'm very happy to have this roundtable and the overall attendance in the in the conclave. Okay, we have Krishna Kohli in the room. So Krishna Kohli looks after the East business. She is in Kolkata. So whenever you want to have some conversations, feel free to call her up and feel free to take her card, in the evening during the networking. Now, just a brief background. I have been in the application space, and I don't want to use the word ERP, right? Because applications is everything how a enterprise interacts with their stakeholders, including their employees, their suppliers, their customers, the government, the tax authority. So everything is part of the applications. And I think Rajesh ji did took you through what we are doing in our applications. Now, how many of you use cloud applications in your company today? When we SaaS applications in your company today? A show of hands. Okay. Now, if you look at it, software as a service, right? Started somewhere, I think, early 2010s when the Salesforce of the world and the NetSuites of the world came in. And what software as a service said that we will revolutionize is that no longer do you have to worry about about what is the hardware behind, what is the security behind. Everything is taken care. You're just using the product. You're just consuming it as a service, right? Now, Oracle was one of the first which had a unified solution, and I think even today I can say one of the only ones that has a unified solution which covers all the part of the applications. There are others who have, bits and pieces, but we have the full part. Now, obviously, that is table stakes, right? Now, for any industry to take off, now you had smartphones were there for some time, right? But it takes off due to a particular part, right? A 4G came in, a 5G came in, and suddenly you could, look at your bank statements, you could do all your net banking without going to the bank, you could buy without going to the bank. I mean, e-commerce was there, but e-commerce took off, right? When e-commerce came on the phone. As long as it was restricted to the laptop, it wasn't really taking off. The moment it came on the phone, for us at Oracle, we believe that that inflection point for SaaS is generative AI. Now, how many of you use ChatGPT regularly, irregularly, for interest, professionally? How many of you do that? See, I asked how many use SaaS, the number of hands were lower. But when I said how many use ChatGPT, and I'm sure, my daughter studies medical, and sometimes, she asks me to do some research for which I have no idea what I'm searching for. And I just ensure that I ask the right question to ChatGPT, and, ChatGPT gives me, and then I send it to her and she's amazing. Okay, you solved half my problem, right? ChatGPT is going to be the huge productivity change. And it could be productivity, it could be a lot of other things. And at Oracle, we believe that ChatGPT is, for us, the killer app, the killer part. Now, you might say, and I will obviously ask Rajesh to get into some of the details. You might say, okay, but so does others, right? Microsoft has AI, everyone talking generative AI. SAP has generative AI, Salesforce has generative AI. What they do not have is what it's like saying, I am Tesla, but you know what? I don't have any control on the battery that I manufacture, right? The battery that runs in the car. So if I don't control the battery that runs in my car, I'm not that the number one electric car company. We run our own data center with our own manufactured hardware. Now, a lot of people may not know. When you think of Oracle, you think of it as a IT company, right? A IT services company, a IT products company, database, application, CBIL, all that. What many of you don't know that we manufacture our own hardware. We manufacture POS machines. In fact, most of the big hotels chains that you will see run on our hardware and software, right? On where the billing happens. So we are a manufacturing company, which means not only do I have the control of the hardware, I can design it. So what happened is we had a tie-up with NVIDIA much before. Our data centers run NVIDIA chips. And because we acquired Sun, we understand clusters, super clusters. There will be some great videos on our data center on YouTube. Please, go look at them. And that is what running your applications. What we are doing next is, and which we are not going to do tomorrow, which we have done yesterday, is we have started embedding these generative AI capabilities in our applications. So we just went through the year end. How many of you wrote performance appraisals for your teams? Right? Let's assume that you had 10 people. Did the first performance appraisal for the first person that you wrote and the 10th person that you wrote, did it have the same quality? Most often no, right? The first person we typically pick our top performer and then we write all kinds of things. By the 5th or the 6th, we ran out of words, the same words, right? Today we have ChatGPT kind of generative AI in our performance management, which picks up the data from all your various interactions with that candidate and puts the first performance appraisal for you. Then obviously you get the chance to edit it, saying you want to add something, you want to add. And the more connected it is, for example, if it is connected to your, let's say, performance system, it might say, okay, he has done this numbers, he has done it with this linearity, or these various KPIs. And if they are tracked in the system, it might even pick it up from there and put it. So you don't have to do that. Or it will pick up saying, okay, this person is very collaborative because he has got these 5 people who have appreciated him on the system. So it picks it up and puts it out for you for each person. And this is already in the system, delivered, embedded, no extra co-pilot, no extra cost, is there in the system. Right? So we believe, and this is just the HCM part. I will let Rajesh Ji do the honors on the other things. So what we are talking about today is that not only do we have a unified solution, which means whether you use my ERP, my HR, my CRM, all my modules, they look alike, they talk alike, they behave alike, they have the same user experience, right? So it's not like when you go into the HR system, it looks different. When you go into the ERP system, it looks different. You go into your CRM system, it looks different. They all have a similar user experience. So which means the employee feels like, okay, I'm using the same system. I'm not using, and you should call, Kunal and Krishna Koli sometime to your office. Ask them to open their system. They can show you, right? In the same system, they have their HR part, their CRM part, their pay slips, everything in the same system. So we believe this is a game changer. And the good thing is, although it is integrated, you can buy them separately. If you're running something else, we are not asking you to, remove everything and replace. You can do it part by part. You can recently one of our customers in Kolkata, and since they have not gone live, I cannot name them. They run SAP ERP, but they went with our Fusion HR. And, at some point in time, they might look at other solutions, right? So you can even buy it separately. Now, this is what I wanted to start off with. And what we want to do in this roundtable is we don't want to be giving a pitch or making it a monologue. I just started this to give a background. Once we will have Rajeshji, he will take you through what I said, but in much more detail or much more. And then we want to have a conversation with each one of you, starting with understanding who you are, where you're from, a two-liner. And then, talk about what innovation means to you, what innovation means in your industry. For example, are you using chatbots, right? How are you doing it? So all that. So put your hands together to welcome Rajesh Goel, who you have already heard before. Rajesh ji.
Spoke to you about this in the morning as well. And then we have our industry specific solution, like we acquired Cerner. So the healthcare Cerner is available. In case you're a hospital, you need to use that. We have. If you're a manufacturing or a project based company, we have Primavera, which is our industry solution that runs with the platform here. If you're a bank, we have our core banking application that runs here, and then we have our OFSA solutions. And they are all talking to our Fusion back office, and it's an integrated solution that Oracle offers. But we are not going to talk about the application in detail today. Our objective is what innovations we are bringing on the application to you at no extra cost. Embedded, ready to use, go live and take it immediately. That's the objective of the conversation we want to have here. So just to give a quick insight and a recap of when we talk about ERP cloud, I briefly touched upon all the core application, and DN talked about you taking them in siloed, or you want to have a integrated story. The choices are available. It's not that I have to take everything from Oracle, right? So you can pick and choose the components that are relevant for your business processes. It can be used by a large company. It can be used by a small company. It can be used by anybody. So that's the beauty of the solution here, because it's a SaaS-based application, and we only charge the number of users who are going to use this application. There's nothing else you need to buy, right? Just say that I need 10 user of procurement, 30 user of procurement, and that's all, right? And it starts running for you in this space here. With that, let me talk about some of the innovations that you want in this platform, right? I will break this into multiple blocks, but first I will start with AI. Now, when we talk about AI, there are two kinds of AI we are all familiar with, right? And DN was talking about ChatGPT. ChatGPT forms a kind of generative AI, right? You type something, it uses some algorithm and starts giving answers. That's what is generative AI is all about. And just imagine, DN was talking about filling up the performance appraisal, right? That is the example of generative AI. And we'll see in different financial processes how Oracle has embedded generative AI at no extra cost for you. The entire cohere combination, the machine learning that's running behind the behind is automatically done by Oracle. You don't have to worry on the complexity of machine learning, building the natural language algorithm. It's all available out of box. And it is getting added quarter on quarter. So you see that every quarter you will get few more generative AI in the application as you subscribe to. Then we talk about traditional AI. Now traditional AI is something, it's already there, right? Your machine is trying to learn something, does the error handling and gives a solution. So we'll see some examples of this. Let me start with the first example of traditional AI, right? Now what does traditional AI mean here? It can detect certain patterns and it can give alert to the business user. Okay, there is some suggestion it's trying to do or some correction it can do. I will give you an example of how traditional AI can be used. So you do a lot of transaction. Take for example, you are doing a lot of purchase activity and a lot of invoices comes which are non-PO related. I buy some material from a supplier. I know that I will always charge or debit that particular supplier. I know the account. Every time you will be doing that, machine is learning that behind the scene. And that is the traditional AI. So next time, if I enter a AP invoice for that particular supplier, system should be smart enough to know that, okay, I've been charging for last 3 months to a particular account. Maybe that is the same account I should use again. So it should prompt the user with that value. And that is what I'm talking about with the traditional AI capability here. And that is embedded within the Fusion application. So this is a quick example, right? The AP user entering the AP invoice for a non-PO match scenario, system is using the algorithm behind the scene and it starts prompting the user, okay, you need to charge to a particular company cost center account, and it is prompting the user. So now you see the efficiency part of it, right? The data error goes down because traditionally I've been charging to X account, so system knows that you need to charge X account. The human part of making mistakes goes down dramatically here and the speed of processing goes up. And this is available at free, no extra cost within the application, and that's why Oracle's users are liking this solution here. I will extend the example by talking about the next example, this embedded document recognition. So earlier we had released a capability long time back where the system was reading the scanned images of expense report, of the AP invoices and so on. And we'll try to create AP invoice. That was the old way of doing things. Then we embedded on the same platform the machine learning capabilities or AI capabilities. What that was trying to do is, it tries to read the transactions and it finds error. Suppose there's a mistake. There is always a error that system does, right? So somebody goes and corrects it the first time. And that's what the learning does behind the scene. Again, traditional AI is working behind the scene here. It knows that Rajesh had corrected a field for an invoice of a supplier, and that is in the memory of the machine. Next time the same mistake is encountered by the machine, it starts self-correcting. So that is something that we'll talk about of what we call as intelligent document recognition. On the right hand side you see a screen where the AP invoices come from the supplier. System was not able to read the invoice number properly. A human corrected it. Next time the same invoice or similar invoice comes from the same supplier, machine knows how to self-correct it. And that is the traditional AI is happening behind the scene. So that is another example of the AI embedded within the Fusion application at no extra cost for customers. So we saw 2 examples of traditional AI. There are many more examples like this. Let me extend the same example when you use our expense report. Now you use Uber, you go by Uber and you are using the scanned image of your Uber bill and say that create expense report for me in the system here. Now system is seeing the Uber bill for the first time. It does not know Uber is a taxi. What it is, it does not understand. So it will create the expense report for you, but maybe it charges, instead of Uber as a taxi account, it may charge to some miscellaneous account. Then there's a human correction that is done, and next time on the similar grounds, system will automatically know that whenever it's Uber, it should be charging to a taxi expense account. So that's the example you see here. So I have a invoice or a receipt of Uber, which I am sending to Oracle on an email, and system automatically is able to create that to a taxi account. So that's the example of the expense getting created automatically. Again, this is an AI that's working behind the scene from the application space here. So we saw a few examples of traditional AI that works here. Now let's extend the example to generative AI. So we saw this basic example. Now how does generative AI work within the platform, right? DN talked about, we have tied up with Cohere. The entire data that is of your company, right, will be on our Oracle databases. All the technology, everything is running behind on your databases. We don't commingle data of third-party data is not there on the databases here. That's what we do for you. Now, here a lot of things can come. One such example is that it can do predictive cash forecasting. So it can take the data from heterogeneous sources, number one, apply machine learning algorithm and start suggesting the predictive cash forecasting. So that is something that comes here and it starts predicting what should happen in the process flow. So that is something that we have embedded within the application now. as part of this new capabilities that we have introduced. Then we talked about summarizing key information and from multiple sources and give suggestions. Again, a generative AI capability that we have. Analyzing your data and giving predictive decision making capability. Another example of the capability that we have here. I'll talk about that example, right? So take for example, you're using a sourcing module now and you're calling quotations from suppliers. There are some items that you don't know who are the suppliers. So you don't know that there is a supplier who can supply this item. What Oracle does is, you see there's a button called Discover New Suppliers. When you press that button, system looks at the generative AI capability, scans the database and tells that there may be few more suppliers available who can supply that services or material for you. You can then talk to the supplier and say that, are you interested to participate in the bidding process? So that is an example of generative AI Oracle has brought it into the procurement side of the solution here. Similar example is when you create your sourcing event, RFQ, reverse auction process, there are a lot of information that has to be typed by the procurement team. What Oracle has done is, you don't have to type all the things. You just enter the basic item detail and so on. Then enter synopsis of calling the cover page that goes to the supplier. It's automatically built by the generative AI. You just have to correct it. So that's one more example that is embedded within the procurement module now. One more example of generative AI that we have is giving you multiple suggestions, right? So take for example, I am creating my item master, which is very critical for various item creation. I can just add the description in the top. The entire detailed description, which is important for certain industries, is automatically generated by the Gen AI capability embedded within the platform. You just correct them and it is available to you. So that's a capability that is available for creating item descriptions for the item master here. Again, a generative AI capability that is available within the platform here. Similar examples can be for seeing how you can do narrative reporting. Very important for financial book closure. Take for example, I'm building my annual report and there are a lot of text I need to capture in the annual report. Should I keep typing them again and again? Not required. We have generative AI capability in the platform here. Let me show you one example of that. A small video I'll play now. I think the volume is.
This development in roll
Let me start this again.
forward report that is kept updated from quarter to quarter. So we add. This is a demo of AI-powered narrative reporting from the perspective of Eric, Finance Director at an EV company. AI provides an insight about a battery shortage. He needs to address this development in a roll-forward report that is kept updated from quarter to quarter. So he asks AI to address that insight with a targeted prompt. Eric knows that they added a new supplier, Megatech, to help cover the shortage. He wants to be sure that the report covers the impact of adding Megatech, so he enters a prompt to insert that in the report. Given ramp-up time on a new supplier, they aren't out of the shortage situation yet. To see more clearly, Derek asks the AI to add a chart. Good news. It shows they'll be out of the shortage in another quarter. So AI helped easily generate a draft narrative that explains what's going on behind the numbers, which Derek can edit. And a summary at the top of the report has been automatically updated to reflect the new information. That's Oracle AI in action in Fusion ERP Cloud.
So what you saw is example of a narrative reporting capability where you're building the annual report using this platform here. The system automatically uses the information which is there within the supply chain module. The user who, in this example, the finance user wanted to add certain section in his annual report. He prompted, system went into the databases of your own company, build that narrative reporting. And whatever we are talking about so far are already features which are GA, that is, it is generally available. It is not a pilot. It's available to all our customers. They can start using these features and functionalities within the platform here. So that was on generative AI, and this is talking about that. Let me talk, and so there are a lot of things we have. So in the interest of time, I'm just parking here, but there are many generative AI capability from the CX portfolio of solution that we have. From HRM, 32 use cases are already GA that we have provided. So you have generative AI capability and traditional AI capability that is available within the solution here. Now let me extend the example, right? So what next innovation that Oracle has brought in? So we talk about AI, Gen AI as a innovative capability that's in the Fusion Cloud. Let me talk about the new capability that we have introduced. We call it as Fusion Data Intelligent Platform. It's a very powerful capability that Oracle has launched beyond the traditional reporting capability that is bundled with your ERP. So bundled capabilities are transaction business intelligence. So if I do a transaction, system give insight. But here we are extending that by co-mingling data from non-Oracle sources as well. Because any company data will be, you may have data from different sources. So we move the data from multiple sources and then do predictive forecasting, natural language analysis and so on. So it is pre-built. So that means whatever data is in Fusion application system takes the data, dumps that into this FDIP layer. So this is the Fusion data that's going into this layer where AI ML logics are applied, and then system starts giving you end results, right? Again, it is plug and play solution. So that means that you don't have to build the reports. They're already available. You can modify them, create your own reports if you want, but they are ready to use reports that Oracle provides. Any data that you see on the screen, you can make the machine predict or tell you what is the interpretation of the data. So it does that for you as well. So that is also available within the platform here. So that is one example, and this is a look and feel of how that looks from the system point of view here. So the next example is we've also embedded a lot of digital assistant capability or chatbots, right? So they are available within the platforms. Like if you are subscribing to Fusion application, chatbots for expenses, chatbot for projects are bundled. You can modify the seeded skills, we call it skills, and you can collaborate with the platform and do that. You can create your own skills using a platform that we provide with Fusion application. So from chatbot point of view, this is example of you're talking to the machine and machine is responding back. It can answer your queries related to your ordering of a laptop, submitting expense report. They are all bundled capabilities that you have. So that is something that is included within the application here. So the next innovation that Oracle is bringing is bringing what we call as B2B services. Now I have been using eBusiness Suite Fusion application for very long time as a implementing the solution for my customers. The problem that I had was I need to build all the integration with banks. I had to build integration with my freight companies. It was effort by the SI, assuming you are deploying PwC or KPMG or somebody is building those, they have to build that for you. So the implementation time was going up, it was taking a lot of time. Now we are changing the entire game. We are building out-of-box integration with various banks. Some of them are already GA, I'll talk about those. So what happens is, when you use Oracle ERP Cloud and the B2B is already there with one of the banks, the system automatically sends the payment information to the bank. Or your customer deposits money in the bank, system automatically creates a receipt. All this is now automated within the platform here. So what we have done is, we are bringing this and we are enhancing more and more B2B interfaces which are going to be out of box in a way that it's going to speed up your implementation at no extra cost. So what is happening is we have built integration already with MasterCard, MX, Uber, Avacar for taxes, FedEx, JP Morgan, HSBC, they are all available now for our customers. So that means that when you're using one of this, you don't have to build any integration. They're already out of box integrated with Fusion application for different processes that may be happening behind the scene. So that is new innovation that Oracle is building in so that you have a seamless experience while using the platform here. So those are some examples of innovation that we have here. I'll just pause it now and we'll open for the discussions and see how we can talk more about the subject that's impacted. So over to you, Diane. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Rajeshji. And like we said, we want to make this, dialogue. So maybe each one of you can talk about, 2 minutes about yourself. What do you do? Which company? Some of the faces I do recognize. Some of you are new to me. And which department. Some of you might be from finance, some from IT, some from HR, maybe your industry. And then we can open it saying what are the innovations that you're currently doing, what are the innovations you're looking for. So We could go table by table, or we could, you could put your hand up and start off. Or we could start with the ladies. I think it should be, chivalry is not dead, so we can start with the ladies.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. I'm Shangu Mitrabain from CAC. I lead the IT for our generation business. We have been users of Oracle for quite some time, and I missed the first session. So what I understand from what you've been sharing is that this is typically with the new Fusion stack that you are bringing.
Yes.
But I just wanted to know that are you providing any kind of enhancements of this sort to the existing EBS suite?
No, all our future investments from Oracle going forward is going to be on the cloud, and that's why we have been talking to all our customers, including your company as well, and we are creating a path for them to migrate to the cloud basically.
Okay, so I mean, if we have an on-prem EBS suite that you don't have any plugins either that we can
It is there. We provide all the technologies for you. So what happens is you have to build or use a SI to develop that for you for all this capability that is available as out of box in Fusion. Is a effort from your organization point of view to maintain them or build them, right? Like OCR, when I was implementing e-business, it was there already. But you needed to spend a lot of effort to build them and maintain them.
That will be again a project by itself.
It becomes a project for you. Here it's not a project, it's just subscription and start using it. So that's the differentiation that we're talking about.
Yeah, in fact, I just wanted to add to what Rajeshji said, and thanks for that question. Right? If you look at it, innovations used to happen in the past. It's not like suddenly humanity woke up one day and said, let's start innovating because cloud has come. Even earlier, innovations used to happen. But what in the legacy, what used to happen is these innovations had to be bought separately because technology keeps changing. They may require you to upgrade to some release to be able to consume that innovation, right? And the last point is, like Rajeshji said, they will not be embedded. It will be a separate customization. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, what we do here is, all these that we are talking about sits on our Oracle Cloud infrastructure, right? And these services are available today even for any other customer. You could be a EBS customer, you could be an SAP customer, they are all available. In Fusion, you don't have to do all that. We create that and give it as part of the system, and every quarter, whatever new things come in, for example, 1 year back generative AI wasn't there. But when it happened, we bought it into first the hardware layer, then we created all these use cases, and these use cases will start getting, every quarter there will be new use cases that will come in. Right? That is true whether you're using any kind of legacy software. Thanks for that.
Hi, good afternoon everyone.
Good afternoon.
Actually, I'm Nandini Roy. I'm from Cisco. I'm the pre-salers from Calcutta region in Eastern region. Our company is now dealing with Webex AI, which is an individually AI it is implementing, and some points are already there. But I want to ask a question. Just like Oracle had the generative AI, which is implementing all the parts which your company data centers or the company's data are incorporated. It's answering the questions whatever your companies are there. That is the thing which I like. I want to ask one thing. What is the duration that the generative AI is taking to read, or you can fetch the data all?
Yeah. So basically, again, depends on the use cases. Many of the generative AI capabilities are real time, so we don't have to have anything. It starts with the zero data itself. But there are data, the traditional AI that I was talking about, right? That requires certain historical information in the system. Maybe the AP invoice processing example that we have, our development team is recommending that you should have at least 3 months of data in the system for it to be more accurate. Similarly, for the AP invoice scanning example that I gave, right? So when you have at least one invoice for a particular supplier, you find a mistake and the machine learns it. Then next time for the same supplier, it will not commit the same mistake. So it will go over a period of time. You have 100 suppliers, then you start correcting for those 100 suppliers. The accuracy level goes up over a period of time. So that depends on the volume and the use cases that we have. Yeah.
Thank you. I have a question. Just like you said about there are customer wise we customize. if I'm getting the, I'm fetching the details of one customer, don't you feel while when I'm going for another customer, their requirement will be different, then that time it won't be having a problem in it?
No, that's this example is for the AP invoice processing, right? So AP is a supplier here. So you mean to say for different customer who are using the Fusion application, you're talking about that. So that use case again changes for them, because we also give capability to transfer, and this, behind the scene our development team anyway will do all the research that's happening. They may also enhance the product, that if we have encountered a similar experience for customer A, maybe that knowledge can be transferred as a product design, so that future enhanced version can use that technology. So that is definitely happening behind the scene. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you as well.
Good afternoon.
So, Atanu Pramanik, me and Shangumitra are colleagues in our PSG, CSC, Power Group companies. So, just drawing cue from the morning small chat that we had, one is not a question but kind of an observation across Oracle seminars and presentations and kind of experience, I would say, that many of the non-Oracle users are not aware that OCI is one of the 4 biggest public clouds in the world.
Correct.
And I'm not sure, I had been using Oracle or working on Oracle for the last 30 years. I'm not sure why Oracle doesn't publicize that OCI is a public cloud. I mean, it appears to me as if Oracle OCI is a captive cloud if I only use Oracle products.
Yeah.
I myself have spoken about it in multiple forums.
Yeah.
Shailaji is aware of it. But I would like to know that what is the strategy, that why Oracle is pretty, I would say, very, very conservative in positioning it as one of the public clouds.
Actually, good question, Atanuda, and it also helps us open this discussion to the OCI cloud. First thing, it's not that OCI is only sold where EBS is sold. For example, a lot of banks are moving their banking to OCI cloud. A very big healthcare company runs their HIS on OCI cloud. But yes, what does happen is, till now, as any MNC, we used to have separate teams, right? And we used to go to the market with our own messaging. This year, the whole focus is on a unified messaging. So whenever we talk about apps, we talk about OCI cloud, right? Whenever we go, I'm sure you know, Uber runs on OCI cloud. It's not Oracle apps. Uber app runs on OCI cloud, right? Zoom runs on OCI cloud. Yes, why it is not known well, maybe in India, is that in India a lot of hyperscalers started with a lot of these startups, right? Amazon, or and there I think we were a bit late in the market, because we were looking more at the enterprise applications and not maybe at the consumer grade applications, which we are doing now. I think you were there when we did Oracle Cloud World, and in fact, I think Gopalaji did mention we have our show, most important event in Las Vegas in September, and I think some of you who are interested in looking at what all can Oracle do, we would like to invite you. You should come there. We talk about all the innovations. We talk about all the latest, what customers are doing on our cloud. In fact, I think a lot of defense in the US, there was news recently that a large defense contract on OCI cloud, and these are not eBiz or PeopleSoft or CBill or OFSS related products. I think we should always look at what we can improve on. I think we should try and see where can we go. There are certain markets which we may not go, right? For example, today if you look at the SAP market, SAP has tied up only with obviously they will not tie up with us for OCI cloud. They will go with the non-competing vendors, right? So that is one market we will not go into, but rest all other markets we'll go into, and if you can, and I'm sure the DN in Depriyanandan must be talking to you about OCI cloud for your utilities billing and all. So, in fact, yeah, we also have a lot of industry applications which runs on OCI Cloud. But like you said, it's Oracle on Oracle in the end. We want to go outside that too, and we are going outside that too, even in India. I think if you can pass the mic to that. So let me change the question because obviously we could start with your introduction and what are the innovations that you already have done maybe in the last 1 year in your company, and what are the innovations that you're looking forward to within the ambit of the enterprise applications?
So I am Vikas Kumar Jaswal from MSTC Limited, working as a Deputy General Manager, Corporate Planning Department. And sir, our company is into e-commerce business, and we conduct auctions. We provide e-procurement services to our clients, and so we are developing. We have a huge database, and we are trying to utilize those data for monetization, something like that. We have some plan for that, and so most of the services, that features that you have elaborated, no, we already have our in-house software which has been developed by us, and we are using for our own purposes. AI is not there as of now, but the strength of our company, the manpower strength, is not that high that we go into that kind of things. So all our in-house softwares are being utilized by us.
Yeah.
Hi sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Very good presentation, very informative. My name is Chirag Sandhu. I also work with Vikas sir. I'm a senior manager in e-commerce department. I would just like to add on a little to what Vikas sir has already said. So the industry we are in is G2B, government to business, and most of the data that we hold in our database relates to government transactions. It's very confidential. We have never speculated shifting to a cloud, and we don't envision it. Now the benefits and I would say the features that you have shown us, especially Gen AI and traditional AI, both of them would be very useful in our line of business, but the problem is we do not want to shift to a cloud. We have a couple of data centers and we'll be putting in more data centers. So because of these restrictions, what exactly can you offer us?
So basically, this application is a back office application. So we have leading banks, just for example, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and name a lot of leading banks, right? They also have a very limited or a restrictive environment. Data should be on-prem. But here we're talking about back office applications, which maintains your HRMS systems, your accounting systems.
Relatively small company, 300 people, so that really isn't our problem.
Yeah, as you grow, right? So over a period of time, you can start using them.
Let me put it into a little perspective. The government data that we hold for close to 1 million people, and it relates to about 30,000 companies and 500,000 companies on the other end.
Yeah.
So now the problem is with that kind of data, huge Gen AI capabilities are required. But because it's not our data per se, it's government's data, so we cannot readily use it.
Yeah.
We want to give them the capability.
Yeah.
How to do it if we do not want to shift to a cloud?
I think that this is a opportunity for our Oracle Cloud infrastructure guys, because see what happens is when we are talking about any kind of a hyperscaler, we are talking about how secure is your data, whether there is the right kind of encryptions, decryptions. What you can define your own security. When you're talking about cloud infrastructure, which is infrastructure as a service, you define, right? You might say that I want these security services, etc. When all these technologies that we use for our systems are also available to the external world as infrastructure or a platform as a service.
So the problem that is that government wants the data to be held in a government data center. It is a minimum requirement for our business, the benchmark requirement. Cannot host the data at your end at any point of time.
Generally what happens is, if the government mandates something, we can't do anything, right? Then there is a problem I can't solve. But our Oracle Cloud Infrastructure data centers are in India and they are MITRE certified, right?
So what if we want to, have the kind of capabilities you have in our data center? Will it be possible for Oracle?
I think, Krishna Koli, you can check out.
Yeah,
I think we
we'll
do
connect
have
with our
something like
technology
clouded
team.
customer kind of.
We'll ask our technology team to talk to you. Yeah.
No, I think Krishna Koli can at
Yeah,
least,
she can manage that.
because she knows, understands that.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. My name is Anutosh Ghosh. I work in Wipro as a project manager for e-commerce projects, and also I am a soft skills trainer. Now, coming to the B2B part and the kind of AI stuff that we use, uh, we have been developing certain applications for other companies, other product companies, like let's say for Apple, or let's say for healthcare businesses like Cardinal Health, or Cardinal Health. So there are stuffs like we want to ensure that whenever, let's say, the B2B sales are happening, in those kind of scenarios, we want to predict and we want to understand that, okay, in the upcoming Black Friday or in the upcoming Christmas sale, these many volume of transactions are going to happen. With those respect and with relation to these kind of sales avenues only, mainly I have been handling. And if there is an opportunity to understand what Oracle Fusion can provide us, then it will be wonderful to know.
Yeah, so basically if the data, if you're using a Fusion application per se, I was talking about the example of FDIP. So we push the data into this FDIP layer, and FDIP layer has the ML capabilities to give the historical, using the historical data and the different point of time events that happens, right? Like big billion day sales, like Flipkart has those examples. The system will be able to tell you what happens as a spike, and the trending analysis are automatically created and gives you what could be the predictive demand, and based on that you source the supply, right? So we have the supply chain solution around that. So you can use those capability from Oracle. Yeah.
Let me ask you another part of it. We also use a part of Azure and AWS for different accounts. Now, let's say that if based on those spikes, we understand that there will be certain extra cloud features that need to be enabled. Automatically that will happen also. However, let's say that there is some issue that has happened and we need to address that. Can we by any chance take care of those issues and at the same time spike or enable some other AWS or Azure data centers for it?
This we are talking about Oracle OCI.
Yes, using Oracle.
This everything what we talk about is running on only Oracle technologies, on Oracle platforms basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can source the data from non-Oracle sources where AWS data can come in, Azure data can come in. But after that, the machine learning, everything that we are talking about, all the examples that we gave, will happen on Oracle OCI. Yeah.
And for that, some customizations will be.
Yeah, we give the framework for customization. If you want to have GenAI capabilities or any other capabilities, we give all the tools within the platform to create various prompts, the ML capability, NLS capabilities that we provide, right? That's available.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. I think there's one table that is left there, but
No, that's
okay. That's BCCI table.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's all. Yeah.
So I think if you have any queries, questions, I know we have gone through the room, but anything else, or maybe we can catch up over a cup of coffee, right? Rajesh ji, any final words?
I think this is what we want to cover, and a lot of innovations get added in Oracle Fusion application every quarter and quarter. So this is an iterative process from Oracle side. Every quarter you see a lot of enrichment that's happening here. Complete investment by our product development team to enhance this solution for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Thanks, GN. Thanks, Ajay.
Thank you.
For this today's B2B roundtable and interactive session. So from Bengal Chamber, we would like to present a memento to, yes. My colleagues from Bengal Chamber would like to present a memento on behalf of the Chamber. Thank you.